Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to Shine with Andrea. Good morning, Miss Audrey. How are you? Good morning. Oh my goodness, I'm so happy to be here this morning. Can y'all see my earrings? My cheeks are like blocking the earrings. I gotta sit like this today. Can y'all see my earrings? They so cute. Good morning, Miss Tina. Good morning, Miss Rochelle. Good morning, Miss Shanae. How is everybody doing? How's everybody doing? I was up until what was it? 5? After 5, 6? 5. I was up to like 5 o'clock this morning. I was up to like 5 o'clock this morning. Hey, Tina. She said I look cute. Thank you, Tina. Thank you. Thank you. Hey, Ma. How are you? Good morning. I was going to say good morning, Freeman. Do you know, Tara, that I have an aunt and a cousin. Well, my aunt passed away, but her daughter, their last name is Freeman. That's right. My Aunt Louise Freeman. Wandretta, you remember her? Good morning. Good morning. My aunt she got a butterfly tattoo on her back, right about her shoulder when she was like 70 years old. She was the life of the party, okay? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Tara said, I'm on time even. You're usually on time, so stop it. I'm excited for a good word today. Listen, I'm excited about today. I'm excited. I am really excited about today. She said probably family somewhere down the line, right? Probably. I'm excited about today. Why am I excited? I am excited because especially this whole week, we finished 100 days of believing bigger. We finished 100 days of believing bigger on Friday, right? And guess what? It was the second time around. So we've done 200 days. 200 days. Wandretta said, yes, she was the bomb. Yes. Good morning, Miss Angela. Good morning. Good morning, Dr. Lynn. Oh my goodness. So we finished 200 days. But we've done it twice. This last round we finished on Friday of doing 100 days of believing bigger. This book right here, 100 days of believing bigger. And it has been so transformational. So transformational. It has impacted so many lives. And I say that all the time. I say it all the time. But I feel like sometimes y'all need to hear it from somebody else. And so this week, I wish I could choose everybody, but we'll see how the timing goes. But this week, we're going to have just a few of the Shine crew join us. Okay, we're going to have just a few of the Shine crew join us, and you'll be able to hear directly from them on how God has impacted, how God has changed and transformed their lives because of this time that we have together, because of the devotional journal that we've been going through. And it's so good. It's so good that so many of you have said, we want to do it again. But before we get to doing it again, we're going to be doing a new thing. Yes! Have you gotten your book yet? Have you gotten your book yet? We are going to be doing a new thing. Go ahead and take a screenshot. Wait, make sure you can see my earring. Okay, wait, here we go. So we're going to be doing a new thing starting on April 1st. So I hope you join us on April 1st so that we can go through. I did a new thing together, 30 days of living free. And what I love about the book is that every day she shares a different story. Right? It's so encouraging and inspiring, and it lets you see that you're not alone, right? In some of the things that she's shared. So many of you have said, I got my book, yay. And so, but before we get to that, we're going to, like I said, a bunch of you are going to be joining me live so we can talk about how this time has impacted your life and how the going through the book has been transformational, and just details, like, you're going to share details with us. And this is just going to be so cool. And I'm really looking forward to it. Really looking forward to it. So we have a guest coming on today, and we have a guest coming on today, and she'll be with us any minute now. Good morning, Miss Vita. Good morning. So if you could say one thing, that has absolutely rocked your world over the past 9 months, what would it be? What would it be? If you could say one thing that absolutely rocked your world over the past 9 months, what would it be? Tell me so I could bring our guest on. I know y'all want to see our guest. I know that's what y'all want to see. Y'all want to see our guest. I want to see her too. I'm so excited. I'm so excited about each and every one of you that is going to join me this week. I think this is just going to be phenomenal. I really do. All right, so while y'all are thinking about it, because I know y'all are some deep thinkers, while y'all are thinking about it, I am going to bring on the one, the only, Jay.
Good morning. Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
I know there's like really echoey.
It's okay.
Sorry.
What's up, girl?
Oh, nothing. I'm just getting over a cold and
Oh,
have a
good.
little one home today too. So, but
Aww.
I'm good.
You look pretty. I love the red with the
Thank
black and
you.
white stripes.
Thank you.
Love that.
Thank you.
See, you
Appreciate
should have told me we were doing black and white stripes. So no, I wore mine last week.
Well, you have the pop of red on the lips, and I
I
have the
do.
blazer, so
I do. Yes,
yeah.
yes. And can you see my earrings? Can you see
I
my earrings?
can.
Oh, they're cute.
Those are gorgeous.
I love them.
Can
But
you
I'm
see
like,
mine?
oh, check it out. Oh, I love that. I love that.
Thank you.
I keep saying I have to sit like this because my cheeks, you can't see them when I have to go like this.
I know.
Yeah, we'll just do the whole interview this way.
The profile.
Yeah. So good morning, Jamilah Allwood.
Good morning.
I'm happy that you're here.
I'm happy to be here.
And thank you for taking the time to share with us today, to get up and get and get dressed. And I know you do the whole thing with your face. I know it was a whole ordeal, and just getting over not feeling well, and being up late last night.
It's all good.
I know it was a lot. For you, but we appreciate it.
Yeah, of course.
I know God has a purpose in you being here with us this morning.
Yeah.
So, you have been watching. You are a day one. You have been watching for 9 months, probably from the first day. I think you were there from the first day. And I can't say that you've missed too many. And if you have, you always say, I watched the replay.
Yeah.
So let me first ask you this. Why was it so important for you to be here, be a part of the Shine Crew, and to be here every single day over the past 9 months?
Well, initially it was definitely to support you, right? Because I know you, and I know that this was a big step for you, and just again to give you moral support. But it's also fitting. It fits perfectly into my schedule in the morning, right? So I have a quick moment to do a basic devotional by myself, but then I gotta get the kids ready and all that. And once everybody's gone, then you come on. So it's kind of like the start to my day, to my me time. And so because it fits so perfectly, I was like, wait, this is not just for me to be there for her. This is actually for me. So, just having been able to be there because I work at home, I've been able to be present, but then also kind of sit in what was discussed afterwards without the rush of having to get to a meeting or do another appointment or do something else. I can literally take a few minutes and just kind of settle in and let it digest. So it's been awesome.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So you mentioned that day 63, Slow Miracles, was your favorite of all of the 100 days of Believing Bigger. And I can only imagine how difficult it was to really choose
Yeah.
one,
Yeah.
right? But you said that it reinforced your knowing of your value and importance in the kingdom. Could you expound on that a little bit?
Yeah. I mean, if you think about the title and what that says, it doesn't necessarily link up, but the point that but the point that that got you, and Marshawn talks about, and you talked about the fact that the Lord has not forgotten us in this waiting, in this process, in this silent time. And so I have heard him say clearly that there's something coming. He hasn't said what, of course not. That's not how he operates. But it's a peace, it's an excitement, it's a quickening in my spirit. Like, okay, I know something is coming. I got to get prepared. And so it's been a while, right, since I've heard that. And so, and my timing, of course. So it's just to have heard he hasn't forgotten you. It's not like a, oh, I'll get to her later. It's a, I'm actually with you right now through the process, preparing you for what's to come. And the fact that it's so important that you're ready to receive what I have specifically for you was like, okay, I am valuable. I do matter to him. He is taking the time to cook up something real nice. And so it reminded me of the time that we were trying to have kids. There was nothing, we did testing and there was nothing that came up. It was just, unexplained infertility. And we were ready to have kids, but it took us, almost 3 years to conceive.
Wow.
And that's not long for some, but for us, we were just kind of like, what's going on? I know friends are getting pregnant, having baby showers, all of that. I'm just like, really? I'm so happy for them. And it's really hard for me, like right now.
Right.
But we fasted for 40 days. We fasted through Thanksgiving.
Oh my goodness.
Crazy. But it was so important to us to be prepared and receive whatever it is that God had to give to us. And a week later, we became pregnant. And so I share that with you because it reminds me of the process. Like, yes, we're doing everything we're supposed to do to get pregnant. However, the Lord is preparing us financially, timing wise, career wise, all of that, right? To be able to care for this child that he's gifting us with. And I kind of feel the same right now. It's kind of like, okay, it's quiet. You're doing everything that you think you should be doing or that you've heard that you should be doing. It's coming. And I believe that. And I just, during that time again, it just reminds me that I am a thought in his mind. He hasn't forgotten me. It's coming.
Yes, it definitely was a very confirming chapter. The verse for Slow Miracles was Psalms 84:11, and it says, "For the Lord God is a sun and shield. The Lord bestows favor and honor. No good thing does he withhold from those whose walk is blameless." Now, you know that when it comes to my book, I'm always highlighting and making notes. And so one of the things that I'm almost brought to tears in just reading is it says, "I'm here to tell you today that heaven sees you. Heaven sees you." So many times, like you said, we feel forgotten. We feel like, okay, God, like I'm doing all the things. What's going on? And we want things not in our timing. But I love what you said. You said he's preparing us, and we have to learn to trust him through the process. It says God hasn't forgotten about you. Our Savior isn't disappointed in you. How many times through that walk did you feel like, dang, maybe I've disappointed him? Maybe I've done something wrong. Has that happened to you?
It has. I mean, just for the simple fact that, there was something that he kept telling me, get prepared, get prepared, get prepared, get prepared. And I would get prepared and then do my work and then all of a sudden I'd have to get prepared and get reorganized again. And so it's kind of like, did I miss it? Like, was I not prepared at the moment he was ready to bless me? Like, so yes, I can relate to that disappointment.
Mhm.
Is he mad? Like, did I? Yeah.
You know, one of the things I just recently, I think it was this weekend, I said it to Madison again. I told her, I said, you are never, ever, ever going to miss out on anything that God has for you. Never, never, never. Right. And so it goes on to say, it says, God hasn't forgotten about you. Our Savior isn't disappointed in you.
Mhm.
In fact, Jamilah,
Mhm.
God has something unique in store for you, but he won't rush it.
Mhm.
Now, let me ask you this. What do you think would happen if he rushed through the process with you?
So much would go wrong, just simply because I know that the way that the Lord blesses is always much more than I expect. It
Mhm.
would definitely probably catch me off guard. I probably wouldn't be a good steward of whatever it is that he was giving to me because, and then I would, maybe spend too much time in prayer trying to figure it all out, and I would miss what he would need for me to do with it. So I'm glad he's not rushing.
It says the fast miracles, they may feel good, but
Hmm.
the slow miracles will feed
Yes.
good. What
Oh,
did that
yeah.
mean to you? What did that mean to you?
Well, it's kind of like I equate things to food a lot. So it's kind of like I finish my meal. I don't have that much room left, and I'll grab like a cookie, right? And it's not really satisfying long term, right? But in the
Mhm,
moment, it's great. It tastes wonderful.
mhm,
However, when I sit down and enjoy a nice dessert, maybe some ice cream, then it has time to get down into all the crevices and fill it
mhm.
in, and then I'm satisfied because I take my time to enjoy it. So for again, what's that slow roasted meat, right? When you get it, it's nice and braised and all of that. It's perfect. And so he's cooking up something real nice.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
No, I agree with you. I feel the very same way. And in fact, I think I want to share with everyone something that was said to me yesterday um, from a special guest that joined us in our Zoom church yesterday. And it really, after I mean, I've shared with all of you guys, Jay, like I have been just going through, just feeling like I'm in a vice grip and it just keeps getting tighter and tighter and tighter and tighter. And so to hear what you're saying and understand that we have to trust God through the process. And I feel like God has allowed things to happen so that I can be an example to somebody else, so that I can encourage somebody else, people who are watching. I believe that's the reason that God had me to start doing this, is because he knew that once he positioned me, he could trust me. And I feel like he's the same way with you as well. And it is so important for all of us to be good stewards of what God places in our hands, because there are lives in the balance. There are lives in the balance. And it was so encouraging to me to hear those words that were spoken over me from somebody who I've never met. I never spoke to in my life. I've never seen them before. I don't know who they are, and they don't know who I am. No one told them anything about me, right? And to hear what they said, it was so on point. So I think I might share that today, because it's truly important for us to understand, that life, all that we're going through there is a purpose in it all. And sometimes it's not just for us, but sometimes it is for somebody else, to encourage somebody else along the way. You agree with that?
Yeah, I do. There was I forgot exactly what it said. Something about manna for today or something for tomorrow, something in the
Mhm,
devotional. And that was a big nugget for me, is that the manna that I receive is also going to be the manna that I'm able to give,
mhm,
right?
mhm,
As his vessel. And so, and just as you said, we go through things, we receive things, we experience things for ourselves, yeah, but someone else is going to need that.
Mhm, mhm,
So,
mhm.
yeah.
It says you are being equipped with manna that will feed others in limitless ways.
Limitless ways. That's what it was.
Yep.
Okay.
You are being equipped with manna that will feed others in limitless ways.
Yeah.
It's not all about us.
Right.
It's not all about us. It's what God is doing in and through us to encourage somebody else. And then it goes on to say, you matter too much for God to give you an unfinished blessing.
Mm.
And it says we must trust God with the slow miracles too.
Yeah.
We must trust God with the slow miracles too.
Yeah.
And I think those are the hardest. It's almost like Christmas time, right? You know, when you were a kid, you were just like waiting in anticipation of what was to come. You knew. Oh, this is so good. You knew that your parents had gifts for you, even if it was one gift. Even if it was one gift, and even if they didn't have gifts, you knew that something special was going to happen.
Absolutely.
Right? And so it's like you're waiting all year, you're waiting. And as you get closer, you know, you feel it, you know it's about to happen. And then it's like you can't even sleep.
Yeah.
You can't even sleep. You want to, tiptoe. I remember I lived in a 3-story home. And so, I would tiptoe and go and peek. And, sometimes you peek under the Christmas tree and you want to see, what is it? Sometimes you pick it up and you shake it and you're trying to figure out, what it is. I feel like sometimes we're like that with God. We know that it's good.
Yeah.
And with our parents and knowing our parents and them being in the flesh, I think it's a little bit easier because to know that, okay, we believe that it's going to happen. We believe we're going to open that gift and it's going to be something good, something that we've always wanted. Mm-hmm. And I think with God sometimes we kind of get like well, is this really going to happen? And even though we can't see him,
yeah,
we've seen his work in our life.
Yeah.
Right? We've seen his work in our life. And it's okay. It's okay. I want you to know that that's okay. Because I think that's the beauty of being a mother is that things are going to happen. I mean, listen, how many times have I been live and, Madison comes and wants an outfit check. Right? No, nothing like, nothing. Just, do I look okay? That's the beauty of being a mom. And so I love those moments, actually. I love those moments. Okay, so the last thing it says is we must trust God with the slow miracles too, right? And so the question was, how is God using what seems like a delay as a chance to develop something greater inside you? How is God using what seems like a delay as a chance to develop something greater inside you? And then it went on to say, what might that something be and why? So first, let me say, has that changed from then until now? No. Okay. So what do you think that thing is? What is it? How is God using what seems like a delay to you as a chance to develop something greater inside you?
Well, it's very interesting. We talked about spiritual gifts the other day, and I never tested high in teaching till this last time around. Mm-hmm. And I noticed that he has given me opportunities to train to teach a lot lately, which is interesting because I never would have chosen that path for myself. And in the line of work that I'm doing, I am hoping to be like a leader officially, if you may. Mm-hmm. And I think he's preparing me for that. I don't think it's not a fast track for me, even though I wanted to get there already. But he's giving me situations to where, okay, these are building blocks because you're going to need to do this on a regular basis. And so I try not to get, well, I'll stop there. So to answer that question, there's another one, right? There's another question.
Yes. What might that something be and why? So you kind of.
Yeah. So I feel like the teaching element, but he's also opening doors to teach in a church setting as well, which I never would have chosen. However, it has been spoken into my life that I'm supposed to be a teacher or a pastor or whatever. I'm not receiving the pastor thing. We don't have to talk about that, but maybe an evangelist and I think that's like my choice, right? And I need to talk to him about that. But I definitely see how I enjoy like having a moment to meet and educate and then move on. Like I'm not the long haul person. I'm like the trainer in the moment. We can check in later. I'll cheer you from a distance and then see you on your way. And I don't know if I don't know what that is. And maybe that's what he's trying to work out.
Right.
So that's kind of been, I said, I want to be that. And he's like, okay, I'll get you there. But it's a process.
Right.
And I need you to be present during that process so that you see that I'm still here and that I'm preparing you for that. And it's kind of when we ask for patience, right? He'll put us in situations that develop the patience that we're asking for. And so that's kind of the season that I'm finding myself in. I will say being plugged into this devotion has allowed me to stay the course. So it's kind of like a sense of accountability because I know that if I'm not there, people will notice. You will notice, others will notice as well. And it's a source of encouragement as well. So it's been, in my eyes, slow going, but I also know that this is suddenly season. And again, he's not going to want to. I'm not going to want to be unprepared for what is coming.
Right.
So again, this has kind of said, stay plugged in, stay plugged in. See you tomorrow at 10. See you tomorrow at 10. It's like, okay. And every morning there's like a building block to all of that. So, but teaching, whatever that is, has definitely been the theme along this season. And it's becoming clearer that that's what he's doing. Again, not what I would have chosen, but I see what he's doing and I see how he's used me to help others and encourage others and to get people excited. And so whatever that is, he's developing it. So, yeah.
No, he definitely is. And you're definitely very good at it as well. Stay encouraged in that area. Definitely stay encouraged in that area. We have a question from Tara. What methods do you use to push past the thoughts of, is God really going to do it? That's good.
I think, again, just being transparent with people that I know care about me and my journey and my well-being, and just be like, it's not there today. Like, I'm tired today. And I don't know. I don't know if this is going to happen. And just to be able to have, obviously, the time with him to spend and say those very things to him, because that's a genuine relationship that's there. But just for others to allow others to encourage me, but also to connect with people who have the same gifting. Like, let's just be clear. Andrea has the same gifting that I have or similar gifting. And then the manner that she does it, just to kind of sit and watch her and see, again, how he's walked her through this process, that testimony in and of itself has been like, okay, I see you, Lord. Like, yes, Marshawn Evans Daniels wrote a wonderful book. And more so, I have a front row seat of Andrea's process to say, do you see me? He's like, do you see me working? Like, you see it right before your eyes. Here's an example specifically to what's going on with you. Like, yes, it's your own path, your own course. However, that gift of teaching, you see how it's used, you see how it's touching others. And it's a process to develop all of that. So to the methods, I guess, is just to stay plugged in, connected with people who have your gifting, being honest and vulnerable in front of those who care about you, who are going to intercede for you and encourage you. Because again, it's the body of Christ. We're not supposed to do this by ourselves. You can ask anybody, oh yeah, that girl over there in the corner that's kind of processing by herself and walking down this path by herself. I was a loner, like didn't want to be bothered with anybody. But he's like, I can't do anything with that, Jay. So those are the things that I do in order to be reminded that he is really going to do it. Again, obviously being in my word and finding messages that address that faith, right? However, in reality, I had to plug into people. It's important. Other than my husband.
Yeah, I think community is so important, and this past 9 months showed me that, because there were so many times that you guys held me up and knew it, and there were so many times that you guys held me up and didn't know it, and community is important, to be around like-minded people, and not stay isolated, because when you isolate yourself, then it's like all you hear are just the thoughts in your head. And usually those thoughts are toxic thoughts, right, Jay? And so, and then you say one toxic thing, and you hear one toxic thing in your head, and then that leads to another one, and another one, and another one, and another one. Before you know, this story has taken off. It has a life of its own. And it's like, you are alone in a corner by yourself. And it's like you can't get out of it. It's a spiral, it's a downward spiral. And so being a part of this community really, really has allowed me to see how important community is. A lot of times when we go through stuff, the first thing we want to do is pull back.
Right.
When we're feeling something, right? The first thing we want to do is pull back.
Yep.
And that's the worst thing that we could do.
Yep. I agree.
What do you think happens when you pull back? And because a lot of times we justify it by, I don't want to bother anybody.
Yeah. Yeah, for me it wasn't, I would always say, I just need some time to process. And I do need that space, right? But I would extend that time, right? And take advantage of that. I would get to a place to where I would be able to say the things that I knew about myself. But then there was okay, so what are you going to do with that? Like, you don't have a plan. There was this. You don't have a plan. It's too much. Just get to it later. That procrastination, that is huge for me, and I try to address it. And I'm trying to figure out, is that a fear? Like, what is that?
Right.
I'm overwhelmed, and yes, I get overwhelmed, but like, what is it, right? And so, I don't know. For me, it's staying plugged in and connected and seeing. I have to. Maybe that's, I don't know what that is. I'm not going to start diagnosing that, but I need to, I don't know. Does that mean that I have a small amount of faith because I have to see it?
No, I think what you're saying is you have to see it play out. Like, you're a visual person. I'm the same way. I watched TJ for a long time in her walk. For a long time. And I've seen how things have evolved. I've seen the highs, I've seen the lows, and and everything in between, and like you said, I myself as well, I had a front row seat to a lot of things.
Right.
And it allowed me to say that there were parts of the journey that I was able to see, and it helped me when I got to that part.
Yeah.
Right. And there were other things that helped me to say, okay, I see that. I see that. I see how you're going to work that out in my life as well. Right. And And I think it just helps us because we're visual people, visual learners. It just helps to solidify for us. I don't take that as because we're still not seeing it for us.
But see, that's what I was gonna.
But
see, but that's what I was gonna say. It's like it's so much easier for me to connect the dots and see the plan and encourage others and really genuinely mean it.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But then it's kind of like, wait, but I'm not seeing the puzzle pieces. I see the puzzle pieces, but I'm not seeing how they fit together. Like,
right.
So,
but you haven't given up. So that's what you have to remind yourself, you know.
Yeah.
You haven't given up. You haven't said, well, I don't see the puzzle pieces. I see the puzzle pieces, but I don't see how they're fitting together. Or, you know, well, okay, I'm going to move on to the next thing. You haven't done that. Or you haven't checked out and said, well, I guess it's not going to happen. You're still holding on. So that there is that faith there because you're still holding on. You're still believing. You're still believing God is going to come through for you. Yeah. And I think really what it boils down to is a choice.
Mm.
It boils down to a choice, you know, just like I posted yesterday that finding joy in the journey is either a choice or a chore.
Yeah.
And you know, with what the woman has said, and I think this would probably be a good time to play it.
Yes.
With what the woman has said to me yesterday, you know, she talked about me encouraging myself. And I think that, you know, over the past few years, I have been on an up and down journey. Okay. And you know, when you're in that space, you can't understand why is this happening? Like, why am I hitting these lows? Right? You don't quite get it, and you know that, and that's the time where you know you feel like you are so alone.
Yeah.
And then those are the times because this is like a new thing to you, and you're trying to feel it out. Those are the times you start to step back and say, well, I don't want to bother anybody. Because like, especially when it happens more than one time and people say, you know, you always do this. You always do this. You need to snap out of it. No, I can't snap out of it. Because if it was that easy, I wouldn't be there. Right. And that's why I'm really, and I believe that that's why God allows us to go through certain things, because then we have the compassion for somebody else. We have the compassion for somebody else that we don't say that same hurtful thing to somebody else. You got to snap out of it. You know, I had somebody send me a message the other day. They were in tears. They were in tears, and there's things that they're just walking through right now, and they're very strong in their faith. They've served the Lord for a long time, but they're just in a place right now where they're like, I'm just not okay with these things that are going on. You know, and you know, you can see the person, you can see their journey, you can see, you know, especially if you have a front seat to, you know, to a part of their journey, you can see the leaps and bounds that they've taken, you know, and then you hear them say that and you're like, wait, no, you have no idea how good you are right now. Don't let the enemy come in and say these things and get you way off base now. No, do you know how good it is right now? Do you know how far you've come? Like, I am so excited for you. And so, you know, you want to say, snap out of it.
Yeah.
But that's not the right response.
Right.
You know, that's not the right response, because that definitely throws, I know, ask me how I know. I've been thrown back like, oh, really? And that just takes you even deeper, you know?
Sure.
But let me go ahead and play this, because I think that this will be a blessing for somebody else. And when I tell you, this was just so on point. And please understand, I do not know this person, never saw her a day in my life. And this was so on point for me.
It was great to hear from you today, and you definitely have a great smile. You told us to smile, but you'll have one as well. Andrea, I just had a sense of the Lord wanting to know that you have been one to persevere, and you have not been one to hold back or to back down. But it's like you just keep going and going. And there's times where you've really had to push yourself even to do that. It's like, okay, I'm just going to push myself forward. and encouraged myself in the Lord. That's one of the things that I love about David is he was in a really tough, difficult situation, and his guys were turned against him. And he learned how to encourage himself in the Lord. And he found that source when he had the answer from the Lord. That was what gave him the strength and the ability to lead people, his men who were just moments before against him, to a place of victory. There is victory for you, and you're going to launch people to a place of victory. But this is a Lord is stirring within you how to encourage yourself and how to build yourself up in the faith. And you're going to train others in that same way. The scriptures, it's like I saw them written on your heart, and the Lord causing his word to flow through you in a fresh way.
Okay, there's no.
Haven't been here for 9 months. What do you think when you hear that?
I mean, that's the whole process that you're going through right now. Like this is day 63 for you. This whole season.
Are you trying to say that I've been left back? I'm not ready for graduation. Is that what you're trying to say?
No. I'm not. It's 9 months. This baby is ready to be born. You know? Yeah. I definitely, especially the part of being able to encourage yourself, that's huge, right? It's huge for anybody who's going to higher heights, because it gets difficult when you get higher. And as you move forward into, being, you've heard that spoken over your life, that you're going to influence many lives of many women, right? And that's just confirmation for you, and that you're being equipped for this journey. Such a beautiful and powerful word of confirmation, right, Tara? This is exactly what I'm saying. It's confirmation for her. And I think like that additional piece of armor, right, that you have to carry is to be able to encourage yourself, which is probably why you've got so much coming up against you. Like maybe I wasn't even there in your line of work. I know last night you had a pretty tough situation that you had to deal with. I wasn't there to witness it. But the fact that your husband spoke over you, right? You were prepared mentally and spiritually walking into you pushed past your quit, right? Because anybody would have been like, what? I'm out of here. These people. But on the other side of what happened, on the other side, that dam broke open, was like suddenly, right?
Yes.
And so that's a snapshot of, I've got you covered, right? The weapon is going to form, but it won't prosper, right? And I've got people to come alongside you to encourage you to lift up your arms and give you the freedom that I give, right, through them, that you need to operate in the gifting that I've given to you to receive the blessing. And so I really feel like that part of what she said is essential to where you're going right now, is to ask the Lord to show you how to encourage yourself. What does that look like in those moments where, the provision, the people that you have to come alongside of me are doing something else or fighting another part of the battle to where I'm isolated, right? How do I plug into you to receive that encouragement that I need to be able to speak over to my life? Like, what word, what additional scripture do I need to hide in my heart so that when it's time for me to pull on that, that's how I'm going to encourage myself. Like when I'm feeling weak, that's where you're made strong. And in order for me to see you, I need to know your word, because I need to hide it here. I love my ladies. I love my girls. I love my, my family that you surrounded me with. However, there are going to be moments where it's just you and me, God, and I need for you to show me how to push through when it's just us.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, as she spoke, again, to be able to encourage yourself, she spoke to that. It's so important. And that spoke to me too. So, because I do fly solo sometimes, it's kind of like, all right, well, when I'm there, I can't just sit and do nothing. I got to keep moving.
Right.
So anyway.
No, I agree with everything that you've said. And the thing is that what I've learned in this latter part of the season is to encourage myself.
ma'am.
You know, I for a long time, I allowed the toxic thoughts to take up too much space in my head, and I would continue to play the story over and over and over again. And there were times where I got to a certain point in the journey, and I wouldn't pay so much attention to the toxic thoughts. But then so I would be joyful, right? But then something else would hit, and then it would take me out. Right. And then I would creep back up to it, and I would be good. And then something would come along and it would take me out.
Yeah.
And what I've learned in this latter part of the season, because I do believe I'm in the latter part of the season, is that God, I have been able to encourage myself and not depend on others, or not have to always hear from others. I've learned to really plug into Him, and like literally just just like plug into the power source and make the choice that regardless of what happens, like I have just said, God, whatever happens, I'm gonna trust you.
Yes, Lord.
And I think we have to get to that place, but we can't get to that place just by saying, okay, so today I'm going to be at that place.
Right.
It is a process, and it ain't pretty.
Yeah.
It don't feel good.
Right.
It's not comfortable. And it's literally a season of waiting. Waiting. And as you're waiting, the vice grip is getting tighter and tighter. Yeah. And tighter and tighter and tighter. And it's like you just feel like you're just being squeezed.
The pressure, right? To create that diamond, that refining process, all of that. It doesn't feel good, but it takes that, right? Yeah. So that we can completely rely on Him, and only He will be able to get the glory out of that product, out of that finished product. That will be you. So.
Yeah. So true. So good. So day 63 was Jay's favorite from the past. And let me ask you, was it your favorite the first time around?
I don't know the answer to that. I would not say no. I would not say yes. I think because of the time of the season that I was in when we went through 63. Right? It was still 63 first time around. I don't even know when that was. I'd be interested to know what that date was. But anyway, I'm sure I was probably in a different place, but now that again, it's been a while, it's kind of like, well, that's a reminder. Like, I can't get weary. I know He hasn't forgotten about me. I know I'm still valuable in His eyes. And I know that He's still developing something that is going to, again, be limitless when I give it to others. So, no, it wasn't that. I don't even know what day would have been my favorite day last time, but now for sure.
You know, you've heard me say it multiple times as we've gone through, especially the second time around. And I'm just like, my mind is blown that you guys want to do it a third time.
Yeah.
But it's just that type of book that it's like, you could do this, or you could read this book forever, for the rest of your life. And every time, just like, boom, you know, you get something else, because you're a different person each time you read it. You're not the same. Right?
And it's based in the scripture, right?
Yes.
So that's a huge part of it.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. But you've heard me say this so many times, like I'm reading and I'm like, Jay, do you remember this? Do you remember this? Like, I don't even, sometimes I don't even remember it because it didn't hit me the same way. And it's like the revelation that you get is like, wow. Yeah. So let me ask you this. If you could say anything to Marshawn Evans Daniels, what would you say?
I think I would ask her what the process was of writing this book, because it's so profound. Like every single day, it's like, bam. It's like refreshing. It's like thought provoking, and it's like, I would want to know what the process was for her. Like, did she sit in her prayer closet the whole time? or was she just kind of walking out life and then things dropped in? Like, I would want to know what the process was for writing this book, because it's so I don't know if cohesive is the right word. It flows really nicely.
Yes.
And again, I don't feel like there was a day that was just kind of meh, right?
Not one.
Yeah. So, I mean, you could tell that it was God breathed for her.
I was going to say that. Definitely, that was definitely God. Like, that was all God. It was all God. And I think the beauty of it is that, you know, it was his tool that he trusted her with.
Mm-hmm.
And so anybody who picks up that tool, look what he's done with the person.
Yeah.
Because it's like the things that you walk out in your life on a daily basis, Marshawn don't know about it.
Right.
She you know, she has no idea what's going to happen, but God uses it. And it's like, because I know, you know, it's like every day it's like I could talk about something that happened the day before that it's like, oh my gosh, I get it.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, definitely. I would love to know too, like what did you do? Where did you sit? Like, what was the couch like?
I want to know everything. Like, write it down. Like, it's a formula or something.
Yes. That would be very, very interesting to know. So let me just look at a couple of these comments that we've missed. Hey, Dr. Stevie, she said, this is yet the beginning of where God is launching you to. Launch means to put into operation or set in motion. Eyes have not seen and ears have not heard. Yes.
Amen.
Yes. Tara said, this is why you have so much coming up against you, because greatness, great things await you. Yeah. I love you, baby. Have a good day. God be with you. Hey, Francesca. Hey. Vita said, preach, Jamilah. Tara said, you better come on, Jay. Rochelle said, Evangelist Jamilah, preach. Tara said, lay that thing out so others can glean from your journey. This is the beauty of vulnerability and transparency.
Yeah.
Dr. Stevie said, if we have not been where the people, if we have not gone where the people we serve are, we cannot understand their walk.
Yeah.
Authentic leadership is about understanding their walk, tried by fire.
Yes.
So on point. So on point. Gordon chimed in and said the living word gives you life guidance.
Yes.
Right? Life guidance. Tara says, like, how did she really sit down and get all this done?
Yes, I want to know. I want to know.
Oh my gosh. Audrey says, I'm not sure if you heard the song Encourage Yourself by Donald Lawrence. I know the song. Yep. Thank you, Audrey. I'm gonna listen to it again. I haven't listened to it in a while. That's a good one to go back to. Karen says, is she doing another book of devotions? I think she's doing something, but it's not this. It's not this. Dr. Stevie said, I'm going to see if I can find the interview that I did with her about this book. Yes.
Oh, yes, please share.
Please. Man, if I could interview her, if she could join us, what? Whew, let me go ahead and do what Madison did when she wanted to photograph the president of the United States, and she made a hashtag and a whole campaign around it. Let me go ahead and do that.
Do it.
Right? Oh my goodness. Shanae said, I love how she was able to structure every chapter and how the days flow into one another with great meaning and thought-provoking. Some days we cried, some days we laughed, and some days we just did self-evaluation that made us look deeper. So true. Jamel said, I want to know Marshawn's story that made her write this journal. Well, you know, she talks a little bit about it, especially where did I read it? Is it in here? Yeah, she talks about it in the book. And I was really like, well, she was getting married. She was engaged to get married. And let me see if it's in here. I don't know if this is where I read it. Like, she's a lawyer. She's a lawyer. She's admitted to practice before the Supreme Court. I don't think it's. I don't remember. She was a Miss America finalist. I don't remember where I saw it, but I know that she went. I remember, and I know what it is, but I don't want to say it unless I, read it again just to make sure I'm saying it right. But she went through something very traumatic, and I think that it was birthed out of that. So, you still there, Jay? Oh, okay. You look frozen for a second.
Sorry, I was listening at the door too.
That's okay. Oh wow. I have to listen to this. Thank you so much, Dr. Stevie. Thank you so much. Maybe I can play it this week sometimes. We'll see. Thank you. So anyway, in closing, if you could say one thing to the Shine crew or to anybody who's listening, people who have been listening, or maybe they just, tuning in, what would your message be to them if you could speak to them?
That's a good question. Again, just to encourage everybody to understand that they are a part of the entire process. They are a part of the entire plan, the entire body. It's not just sitting back and seeing Andrea go through her process. It's not just sitting back and seeing the comments that come in from, a lot of the more outspoken people that this is for you as well. Mm-hmm. And that it is something, again, to digest over and over and over again. And through that, going over and over and over again, that you should see your growth throughout the process. It's exciting, again, that we've been able to build a community together and see, through our comments, even though we haven't met each other, like the majority of us, just to kind of see how excited we are through this whole thing, and that there's a place for everybody to learn from what Marshawn has put into this devotional, but even more so what this community has built. I feel like, again, Tara was out one day and I was like, where's Tara? Somebody was like, where's Tara? I was like, she can't be with us today, Saturdays, whatever. And so it's a family that's being built. It's a community, it's a home. And so for everybody, this is a place for everybody. Everybody has a place here. And I love the fact that you are the one that's leading us. And I love the fact that you're calling us out to shine, calling us out from the shadows. And that this is kind of like a place where, you don't have to be, you can get over that fear of being seen, right? This is a place where you're built up. So it's kind of like a launching pad. So come in, settle in, find your place, be vulnerable. It's easier said than done. But I think, again, Andrea creates that for us here. And then just for the individuals that are here, that encourage along the way, it's incredible. Like, if you're watching from the outside looking in, just come in and have a seat.
Yes, because you belong here. You belong here. Wow. This has been amazing, Jamilah. Thank you so much. Thank you for making yourself available. I know that the ladies and the men, are just grateful to hear from someone else, and that's why I wanted this week to bring in, a few of you so that you guys could hear it from somebody else, because sometimes we really need that. And so I'm grateful for you. I want to say thank you to you from the bottom of my heart, from being there from the very beginning. And like you said, you started because you wanted to support me. See, a lot of people don't realize that when it comes to relationships, when it comes to what you want out of life, God will send you the people, but how willing are you to sit when it's their season.
Yeah.
And you have been that friend. You have been that friend. And I'm grateful for you because, in times when I didn't have faith in myself, in times when I didn't see it for myself, you saw it. God allowed you to see it. And that encouragement helped me to take yet another step. And for the times where you would also say, because I know y'all have always heard me say this. You have always heard me say this when it comes to times where I'm just like, I don't know what else to say. And I feel like I have something else that I need to say. Not that I feel like I'm supposed to say something else. And I get really it becomes a very tense moment because now my mind is running, it's going in circles, and I can't focus because I'm so focused on, I need to say something. And the day that you said to me, if you don't have anything to say, just don't say it at all. Don't say anything else. You're done. And that was like boulders lifted off my shoulders.
Amen.
It allowed me to just, to just be free, and I encourage everybody to take this journey, because that's what it's been for me. It's been a journey. It's been a journey. So I am very freeing, Tara, very freeing. I am so grateful for you. God placed you in my life at a time where I was just really over just friendships, just really over it, and you have just been, you've been a blessing. You've been a blessing. You've been an encouragement, and I appreciate you and your husband and your family. We love you guys.
We love you too.
We love you guys.
Yeah.
I got 3 nephews, y'all.
You do. They talk about you all the time now that they met you. It's like, is that Miss Andrea? It's like, yes, that's her.
So, yeah, Tara. Yes. It's like your words set me free. It's like God used you to just allow, some of the stuff to just fall off, and I hope that I can be that for you.
Oh, you are. You are. Most certainly. Most certainly. You can ask my husband. He'll tell you.
Dr. Stevie says, Jay, you are one of those women who God has created to be the epitome of sisterhood. You are a sister. I feel that way, and we haven't even had the opportunity to speak much. Dr. Stevie, you are so right. You are so right, because a lot of times people throw the word sisterhood around. They just throw it around, sisterhood. But when in the times when you really need somebody, they've turned their back on you. And Jay has not done that.
I'm trying to get off here without crying. So can we move on?
No. Come on, y'all. Let's make her cry. I'm not going to be up here. Listen, they say misery loves company, right? Well, people who cry want people to cry with them. So let's make her cry, y'all. Let's make her cry. Dr. Stevie says there is a difference between sis and sister. I do not take that lightly. It's the truth. It's the truth. It's the truth, because I didn't grow up with sisters. And although I have 2 biological half sisters, right? I've never had that deep relationship, and I've never had it throughout the course of my life. And so for God to have given me, those of you who just ride with me and just there's one thing to have people in your life who are always just like, yeah, you got this, you can do this, you can do this, you can do this. No, there's nothing wrong with you. And there's something about somebody who's going to be honest with you and say, listen, and you have that way to, and I sometimes I got to pull it out of you. I'm like, listen, just leave all of that, what is that? What is the word? That diplomatic stuff. Yeah. Leave that diplomatic stuff at the door and just talk to me, right? Lay it out. You have such a graceful loving way of just, sometimes I just need to know the truth. I need to know the truth. You need to have people like that around you, because that you don't have a friendship if you cannot speak life into that person, if you cannot be honest with that person, if you cannot say, listen, that was jacked up.
Yeah, I agree.
That was jacked up. Not that she's ever had to say that to me, guys. I'm just using it as an example.
I have it.
Oh my gosh. Dr. Stevie says same. I have a half sister and I've had 2 stepsisters, so I feel the same. I was raised as an only child. Me too.
Me too.
Yep, me too.
2 half sisters. I was raised as an only.
Wow. Yep. Tara says, yes, she does. Graceful and loving, but truth in love. Absolutely. And Carolyn says, I've enjoyed listening to everyone's comments. Yes, yes, makes this time like family. Absolutely. Yeah. Shalina is here. Wait, we got to do it.
I can't do it on my iPad. If I was on my phone, I'd be able to do it. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
She's probably laughing.
Just another woman that I know, that I don't know. I've never met. I've never even had a conversation with her, but I met her through you online and just love her. I don't know her.
Adore her.
So she said, I love you both. God gives us what we need, even when we don't ask. My 2 sisters that I didn't know.
Yeah, she's amazing.
And I think that this is what Shine with Andrea is all about. In the beginning, when I was looking for what do I call this? I was like, I got to a point where I was like, okay, God, I need to call this something. And the thing that came to me was Shine with Andrea. And I was like, I don't like having my name in it. Like, who am I to say, come shine with me, Like, I felt really weird about it. But then I thought about, and somebody mentioned to me, like, this is how I've always been. I'm a kid. I just grab everybody and pull everybody together. Come on, let's go. We can do this. You can do this, And so it's like, come shine with me. We can do this together. And this is the community that we really didn't know we needed.
Yeah.
We really didn't know we needed. Dr. Stevie said, there is no shine here without you, Andrea.
Yeah.
I said, make Jay cry, not me. Wait, Andrea said, y'all got me doing the ugly cry again. Jamel says she's an only 2. I didn't realize that, Jamel. Sharnez says, thank you all for being my sisters. I don't have any biological sisters, but my one and only brother passed away several years ago. Wow. All right. Well, look, Tara, you got the hour. Oh, Shalisa said my lives would be titled Heathens Honestly Trying to Make It to Heaven.
She is so funny, man. She always has it.
That is so funny. All right, y'all. Well, we're going to wrap this. Please make sure that you share this with someone. Share this with someone because, especially somebody who really is going through right now. They have to have a good understanding of slow miracles. And not only that, what real true sisterhood feels like and looks like. Share this with somebody. All right. She said, did I? Oh, no, I didn't. She said, God is so good. We are over an hour. Tara, we just stay on here 24 hours a day, right? You do know that, right? We just be on here. That's all we would do. Oh, Tara, I love you. I love you. I love you, Tara. I can't. Oh, my gosh. Miss Rochelle said it's power hour.
Power hour. That's right.
All right, y'all. Any last words?
Me?
Yeah. Any last words?
I love you.
Oh, I love you.
That's
too.
it.
Mwah. All right, y'all. We will see you tomorrow at 10 a.m. with another special guest. Make sure that you look out for the notification. Yes. Shine Crew. # Shine Crew. I love it. I love it. I love it. All right. Love you. Bye.